Look, there's a lot of pressure on the budget. The other end of this scheme is the aged care system as well. What's your view in principle on hypothecated spending? Would you consider an idea where superannuation is increased, but there's a percentage of that it's hypothecated to aged care?
Look, I don't want to speculate on what may or may not be in the budget. I think that would be inappropriate, but I think you've hit on a really important point, which is particularly for those women that are in the sandwich years, and I was talking about them before, those grandparents that are looking after children. They may also have elderly parents themselves, and they're the ones that, you know, are in those very productive years of between the ages of sort of 50 and 60 or 65 or so. We want to encourage them back into the workforce too, so that they can better save for their retirements and have a better retirement outcome.
Okay, I just spoke to Jennifer Westacott and we spoke about the childcare package, but we also spoke about some kind of target for reopening borders, reopening ourselves up to the rest of the world. She, like Dominic Perrottet, is calling on the federal government to put in some kind of targets in line with our vaccine rollout. We haven't had that. Why not?
I think we've made haste slowly on this one. We want to be extraordinarily cautious. You know, when you see what's happening in India, it just breaks your heart that they're suffering from, 300,000 cases a day, 200,000 deaths so far. It is quite extraordinary. That's a second wave. We don't want that to happen here. I think that, the way that we've handled both the managing the health crisis and the economic crisis has seen Australia in a better place position than almost any other country you could think of. We certainly don't want to rush that. But that said, we're all rowing in the same direction here. We want to see the borders open up again. We want to see, our economy thrive and flourish, to be, trading again the same way we have, to be able to travel again the same way we used to. Of course, that's our objective.
But don't we need an indication of when and how? When and how?
Well, I think that we've demonstrated an ability to respond to the information that we have at the time very well throughout the entire COVID crisis, and we're still doing that now. This situation, I know it feels like everything's better because we're not wandering around in masks every day and in every state, and we're not in lockdown in every state. But that said, the crisis isn't over, and we're very well insulated and isolated from the problems here. We don't want to rush a program that would potentially put us at a health risk again, and an economic risk too. But that said, we are all pushing for exactly the same thing.
And countries overseas that have successfully rolled out the bulk of their vaccination program is starting to open up to the rest of the world. Whereas here, yes, we've successfully fought off the disease, but we've now banned Australians from leaving India, and they threaten with jail time if they somehow find a loophole to get back. Are you comfortable with that?
I think everybody's found this to be an extraordinarily difficult decision, but we have responded to the advice of the Chief Medical Officer, who has invoked the Biosecurity Act here. That's all within international laws. It's not something we want.